Hey, Jen. Hey, Scotty. True crime analyst. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, Christy. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm trying to get my earbuds untangled here. And I think actually Jen was first, Scotty, believe it or not. Sorry. I know how you like to be the best at everything. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Kels. Fourth. It's a race. Sound is good. Thank you. So I know it's been a little while. That was actually going to be the title of the stream, because I know I haven't gone live in a little bit, but I decided to go with what are the odds, because there's some interesting things that I've noticed lately about a couple things. Hey, Sky. That I would like to share with you guys. So I get caught up on Watts and Summerwells or whatever else is going on with those sideshows. I don't know. I was gonna say freak show, but so we'll wait. I'm glad the chat's working again. I fixed it, so you guys have at least something to look at on the screen instead of just black. I don't remember what I was saying already. This is not starting well. Anyway, so I have been looking into the Letitia Stout case. I do remember it when it's, right around the time that it originally happened. I did notice a couple things that I thought were odd about it, but I guess it never really captured my attention all that much. But then again, I was really focused on Watts at the time. Swamp Lover's more than likely in La La Land, Christy. But yeah, so I was a little focused on Watts, but there were certain things about that I heard, just from going into different chats for a minute here and a minute there about the Gannon case. But now that it's getting brought back up again a little bit, or it seems to be getting some more attention, I guess, cause is she going to trial? I'm not really sure. You guys might have to help me out with some things about the case, because I still don't know a lot about it. I just started reading the affidavit last night, and again, I've just been hearing things from just going into random live streams. Hey, Joseph. I think I saw or heard a little bit about it, Christy, but I really don't care, to be honest with you, about Watts drama. It's all a distraction. It's to bring in views. It's a circus, pretty much. It's embarrassing. He's in the swamp, right, Kels? So again, I don't know a lot about the Letitia Stout case. And I don't know if I want to get that deep into it. I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole, but to be honest with you, with these, I'm telling you, with these high profile true crime cases, you guys, I'm pretty confident that the majority of them, it just based on what I've noticed on the patterns and the consistency with all of them, and those red flags and characteristics that I've been telling you guys to look out for, I keep seeing them, and I'm more, the truth is in the patterns, and I'm gonna have to go with consistency. Hey Shan, hey Capri, Mary Rose, Sugar Ant, thanks for being here, everyone. Yeah, RV Truth is good. I do like RV Truth a lot. But I'm beginning to really, in my opinion, the majority of these high profile, I'm just going to say it, these high profile true crime cases are, I don't want to say all of them, but many of them are being orchestrated, and they're not only fooling anybody that watches the mainstream media, but also the true crime community specifically. I feel like the true crime community is being duped over and over and over again. And again, before I even knew there was a true crime community, I had no idea that they were orchestrating these true crime cases until I started looking into the Watts case. So I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked, because I just had no idea. Again, I knew that they were orchestrating these terrorist attacks and these riots and these mass shootings and these school shootings. I had no idea that they were, again, orchestrating these missing persons and murder cases. And again, that might sound crazy to a lot of people, but it's really not all that crazy. Hey, Mark. So tonight I'm going to point out some more of those coincidental but not so coincidental Easter eggs and whatnot that they like to use with these cases, right? Hey, Sweet Pea. Every time I see your name, it reminds me of my chicken, because that's my chicken's name, Sweet Pea. She's very sweet. So with the Stout case, again, I was reading the affidavit. I haven't been seeing like a ton of symbolism. I did look up like, let me see here, like because if you followed me for a while or watched some of my videos, you'll know that I say over and over again how they're all about their symbolism. Hey Jen, they're all about their names, their words, colors, numbers, letters, duality. 100%, Christy. The Summer Wells case is a complete circus. It literally, it's so ridiculous. I mean, it's so ridiculous how it's just ridiculous. I was gonna say how fake it is. I mean, and again, I'm not here to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, it's to the point where it's, I don't know what other word to use besides ridiculous, because it really is. But yes, 100%, Christy. Either that or it's some sort of trafficking. But now that I see that what's his name, the one that's been covering the Summer Wells case that I've never even heard of before until the Summer Wells case, the Chris McDonald or something, or McDonough, whatever, that dude. Now that I see that he's covering the whole like human trafficking thing, I'm leaning more towards 100% fake. Hey, Cynical Sam. I mean, you have prayer circles, you have lack of emotion from both the parents, from from the school teacher, from the neighbors. They're saying how sad they are, but there's no tears. Very over dramatic. You have that preacher kid that's like, oh Lord Jesus, help us Jesus, Lord. I mean, it's just so over the top, like fake. And then you have what is it, Candace Wells or Bly, whatever. I don't know why she has a different last name, but doesn't matter. The mom, she's calling Mary, what is it, her friend or the cousin or something? See, I don't even know. Like, I don't want to delve that deep into it because I already know that it's ridiculous. It really is. Hey, Sky. But you have her calling Mary, right? And she's just bawling her eyes out about Dawn, and how the police have taken him to Boston, and she's more worried about Dawn than she is than Summer, and oh, Dawn's stepsister. Thank you, Sky. And so, one, Mary's recording this call, right? Why would she be recording the call? Two, I guess that doesn't really matter why she was recording the call, but why does she care more about Dawn than Summer? And then I find out that, oh no, during the call, she's talking about Mexican mafia. Like, really? Like, now the Mexican mafia is involved? I mean, let's just think about it for a second, you guys. I mean, and then then you have Mary who's releasing this private phone call instead of, maybe she did give it to police, right? Or I don't know what the whole purpose of it was. I don't know why Mary was recording it. To me, that doesn't matter. But all I know is why is it being released on social media? Why is there so much interaction on social media from all these families involved in these cases? Instead of doing something about your son being in prison if you think he's actually innocent, or trying to convince the majority or the people in the true crime community that there's no conspiracy and that you're being harassed and doxxed and sent death threats and yada, 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 instead of staying as far away from social media as possible. And not only just social media, but the true crime community of all places they should be staying away from. So that's the kind of things I look at. Then you have the Wells case, and they're doing the same thing. They're saying people are on social media are messing with the case. They're screwing it up for law enforcement. They're making it difficult for law enforcement to do their investigation. We're getting death threats. Dawn's getting death threats. Candace is getting death threats. Sweet Mary is getting death threats. You know, it's like, and they're going after the people on social media, saying that we can't talk about these true crime cases. So what are the odds that the Ruseks were pushing the same agenda, and now you have the mainstream media even pushing that as well, saying that people on social media are spreading rumors and threatening these family members of these cases, when, you know, pretty much there's nothing illegal unless they're really being sent death threats, and that's for law enforcement to take care of. But people talking about cases on true crime there's nothing illegal about it, but they want you to think that. They want you to think that asking questions or talking about theories is for some reason illegal. They're going after free speech, you guys. Like hardcore. I mean, they've already done it. They've already been doing it on, you know, in other communities on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, but now they're really going for the true crime community. And what I see is they don't want, pretty much they don't want any independent journalists on social media. So they want just your mainstream media or anything that's supporting the official narrative. Yeah, Scotty, and that first, after that, when the Summer Wells case first came out, that hate, pride, or honesty, that police, the sheriff or whoever it was, that's the first thing he said pretty much in that interview that he gave, or that press conference. It was that people need to watch, literally saying that people need to watch what they say on social media. You have the Russek's lawyers threatening to, bring the law into it if people continue to talk conspiracies and go against the official narrative. I mean, it's clear as day these agendas that are being pushed, and the majority of people don't see it when they really should. They should be asking these questions, like why the Ruseks are on social media and not staying far away from it, why they're going from channel to channel to channel and playing the victim card. And saying that people need to stop talking about the case, and we're gonna sue that one channel creator that we're all familiar with, and because you're not allowed to talk about a highly publicized case, even though we did a fantastic job, we being the Ruseks, publicizing the case on their own by streaming the funeral, going on Dr. Phil, going on ABC, working with Netflix, totally contradicting themselves. But again, the proof is in the pattern. So when I see over and over and over again these same things happening in these true crime cases, then that's when I'm going to start, questioning them, as anyone should. So, back to the whole Mary and Candace thing. Why would Mary release this on social media? Why are the Don and Candace spending so much time trying to convince people that they're innocent or complaining that they're getting death threats instead of going out and looking for Summer, right? And then people might say, oh, that's just, because they're guilty or they have something to do with it, so they're trying to clear their name. No, it's a distraction. This is all a distraction. So they release this phone call by Mary, and everybody goes crazy about it, right? They're like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Candace is so upset, and now the Mexican mafia is involved. Now there's drugs involved, and now Don is a drug lord. I don't know. It's so ridiculous. It drives me crazy. Hey, Hard Eyes. I mean, I could just rant about it forever, but I won't do that. But I do want to talk about the couple things that I've noticed. So, if you have been a subscriber to me or been following me for a while, you will know, or should know, that I've been saying that with these orchestrated events, the way that these people operate, the way that they work with their symbolism and their Easter eggs, and that they think they're so clever with their predictive programming, what they will do is they will literally, so let's say the event happens, there will be some sort of clue, maybe obvious, not so obvious, hey Cecile, where they will let us know where they plan to have their next orchestrated event. And Ole Damigard, the conspiracy theorist and expert on false flags and psyops, he is what originally brought this to my attention, that he noticed about these orchestrated events. That they literally tell us sometimes what they're going to do or where they're going to have their next orchestrated event. So, when I was going over the affidavit for Leticia Stout, I happened to notice that, well, let me backtrack really quick, okay? So I brought this up before several times. The Las Vegas shooting happened in October of 2017, okay? Let me share my screen here. I don't think the video is going to load. I don't know what's going on, but and it's really big. Okay, that's fine. So I've talked about this chick before. And of course, at the time, I didn't think about it. But after the Watts case happened, it clicked in my head, and I was like, holy cow. Because when this chick that gave this interview after the Las Vegas shooting, this interview of hers was like viral, right? It was everywhere, which is also a big red flag or clue. And I was going to play the video because you can't really see her shirt. I'll try to find a picture. But if you look, I don't think you guys can see my pointer. But, wait, let me see here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The top of her, her shirt right here is the top of the Colorado logo. Their newer one, the most recent one. And again, I'll try to find the picture just for proof. So you guys can see it clearly. So it says, witness says woman told Las Vegas crowd that they're all going to die 45 minutes before the shooting. In the aftermath of the worst mass shooting in recent U.S. history, one witness said a woman had told the crowd that they were all going to die tonight. A concert goer who attended the Route 91 Harvest Festival, where the shooting took place, told Sky News that she saw a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row. The witness said, she started messing with another lady and told us that we're all going to die tonight, before being escorted out by security about 45 minutes before the shooting. After that, the witness said she left the concert and headed back to her hotel room. When she heard there had been a shooting, the witness thought it had a positive correlation to the woman's warning, she said. It is unclear, however, whether the incident had any relation to the shooting. The witness described the woman and a man she was with as Hispanic and 5-footers. They just look like everyday people, the witness said. Okay, yada yada. Main point, viral video, viral interview, what was this, October 2nd? So I think this was actually the same night, because she was still in Vegas, so she hadn't even flown home yet. But I could be wrong, because it says October 2nd. But either way, it was only like a day or after, the day of or the day after the shooting. And, okay, what's going on? And it was all over the place. So again, at the time, didn't think anything of it until I was making my Las Vegas Watts comparison video. And I remember this, and I'm like, holy shit. I was like, there was that chick whose interview went viral, and she's wearing a Colorado t-shirt. The next orchestrated event was in 2018 in Colorado, which is the Watts case. Okay. And I probably should have brought it up, but I might find it before the end of the stream. But if you guys have seen that video with the interview that the Lindstroms did, Jeremy Lindstrom and his wife did at the 2nd year anniversary, go figure. They always have to do these interviews right around the anniversaries to really pull at heartstrings. But in that interview at that radio station, Jeremy Lindstrom, if you look closely, is drinking out of a pint glass that says Vegas Strong. Now, Vegas Strong is the whole whatever slogan that they had after, all over the place after the Las Vegas shooting. So not only are they telling us where they're going to go next or where they're going to hit next, but they're also taking credit for the previous one after the fact. Because they just really got to rub it in our faces, right? Hey, Mike, drop him on. But that's how these people work. They're sick. They really are. And they think they're so clever. And they literally throw it in our faces and mock us. Like right to our faces. And all their symbolism hidden in plain sight. Hey, Becky. So again, if you've seen that interview with that radio station that I can't really find any information about, I don't even know if it's in Las Vegas or where it is. I can't find hardly anything about it. I gave up. But, what are the odds that Jeremy Lindstrom would be drinking out of a Vegas Strong? And then this chick is wearing a Colorado t-shirt. Now, that's just one example. There's several other ones, and Ole Damagard points out more of them. And I would have to find them all again. But, You'll get the point as I go along here. Or the gist, I guess. Okay, so Vegas shooting, October 2017. Watts case, August 2018. Then you have the 2019 El Paso shooting. Now, the same thing with these true crime cases, these high-profile murder cases and missing children cases that are getting all this mainstream media attention that don't add up, that people can't seem to get away from, especially with this online true crime community, that just gets just an obsessive amount of coverage, right? Over all these other people that go missing and are murdered, right? So the same thing with true crime. They are also doing it with these terrorist attacks, with the Capitol riot, with the school shootings like Mandy Book, Las Vegas shooting, and these mass shootings, okay? And they're all to push agendas. Now with the mass shootings and the school shootings, it's most likely to push gun control. It's also to incite fear. A lot of these psyops and these false flags are to constantly keep people in fear. But they're also to take away rights or pass laws right underneath our noses without us, even knowing. Because people are too upset, or too emotional, too distraught, or too busy demanding from these people that are orchestrating these events, not realizing that they're the ones orchestrating it, like that Hegelian dialectic that I talk about all the time, because they have to trick us in order to take, our rights away from us. So that we'll literally give up our rights. So, again, just like the true crime cases, they are orchestrating all these mainstream media tragic events to push agendas. And I know that might be hard for a lot of people to grasp, right? And how dare I say that nobody died or whatever, or that it's orchestrated, or that our government would do that to us. Well, again, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to try to wake people up, because it's super important. Because they're going to keep happening over and over and over again. They're not going to slow down. Again, there's nothing we can do about it. Literally, there's nothing we can do about it. Because with that Smith-Munt Modernization Act of 2012 that I also talk about all the time, made it legal for the mainstream media and the U.S. government to lie and push propaganda on U.S. citizens without any liability. So even if I was able, for whatever reason, to wake up like thousands of people and they were all pissed off and started demanding, something be done, it doesn't matter. We have no say in it, because that Smith-Munt Modernization Act makes it so that the government and the mainstream media have no liability. Whether it be completely fabricating a local news story that's some stupid news story, all the way up to 9/11, okay? They were doing it before 2012, but now they can legally do it. So everybody that wants to go after Rourke, everybody that wants to go after Weld County, or any of these police departments that they don't think are doing a accurate job in these true crime investigations, there's nothing you can do about it. I don't mean to sound negative, but it's really not. And that's why it's so important that people start to wake up and ask questions and think critically and stop using their emotions to make their decisions. But that's why these psyops are so successful, and that's why they make them so tragic, so that people don't think logically and critically. They think with their emotions. So, 2019 El Paso shooting on August 3rd, 2019. I'm just going to briefly go through this because I don't even feel comfortable talking about this. Like, I try to completely avoid any shootings at all on YouTube. That's how bad the censorship is, as far as, talking about them goes. But I'm going to have to do it in order to get through to people, or, at least have a chance at getting through. So on August 3rd, 2019, a mass shooting occurred at Walmart store in El Paso, Texas, United States. A gunman shot and killed 23 people and injured 23 others. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is investigating the shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime. The shooting has been described as the deadliest attack on Latinos in modern American history. Now again, there's probably several agendas with this. I remember when it happened, there's more than enough people on these social media platforms that are doing a great job covering these other orchestrated events as far as the shootings and the terrorist attacks go, and other things like that. So, but when I was looking at the affidavit and I was watching some of those Leticia Stout videos, I just happened to notice that where did she live? Or lives, or live, or whatever. Or where did this event take place? El Paso, Colorado. And I'm like, and it clicked in my head. I was like, oh, now I sound like Kessinger. Like. Sorry. I thought to myself, wait, wasn't there that alleged mass shooting in El Paso, Texas, just a couple years ago? And so when I looked up the date, I'm like, weird. So you have this chick in Vegas who has, again, her interview that goes viral, wearing a Colorado t-shirt, and remembering from what Ole Damengard talked about all the time, about how they will literally tell us where they plan to have their next orchestrated event. Now, it's not like he's been able to actually predict where some of these other events have happened. They were overseas, because it's not just here in the U.S. They do it everywhere. So don't think that it's just limited to the United States. But he's been able to predict these events because they literally tell us what they're going to do and where they're planning to hit next. That's how these people operate. So remembering what Ole Damengard said about that, watching all of his content, I looked up El Paso shooting, and it happened in 2019. Then you have the Leticia Stout case, like I said, that happened in El Paso, Colorado, a year later in 2020. So how many times does shit need to happen before it stops being coincidental and before people wake up? And that's just 2 examples, right? And I'm not done yet. And I might do a live stream. I'll have to go back and watch some of Ole Damengard's older content and try to find the specific interview where he goes into more detail about these, about the other ones that they predicted in name. So like, from what I remember, there was prior to an event happening in Austin, Texas, and again, I can't remember specifics, but I will try to find it. Ole Damengard noticed that one of the mothers at the orchestrated event that happened before the one in Austin, her son's name, there was a victim, his name was Austin. Then before the Las Vegas shooting, there was a photo from a orchestrated event prior to that where these 4 chicks were in a picture all wearing Las Vegas shirts. And then the Las Vegas shooting happened.
Okay? So again, how many times does it have to happen, these things, until it stops becoming coincidental? Like all the Lee names, like all the Ashley, Raleigh, North Carolina, right? I could go on forever. But if you see my videos, I go into all of the background about all these, the names and the symbolism in the names and the meanings behind it. Oh, and in the Leticia Stout case, you have Harley. I remember watching Melissa Jade's video, and she was covering it, and I'm going, another Lee name? Like, really? Lee? All these, like, this is insane. Like, so it's like I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked at the same time. Okay, so 2019 El Paso shooting, 2020 Leticia Stout case. In my opinion, and I can't say with 100% certainty, but I'm beginning to think that it's orchestrated as well. So what are the odds that these back-to-back events just so happen to be, obviously one was in El Paso, Texas, one was in El Paso, Colorado. But it doesn't matter, right? It's still El Paso, they're still orchestrated, and they're still back-to-back. So let me go back to the chat. Hey, Abnorm, Tech. Yeah, Candace Bly, exactly. Lie, Welser. Don't even get me in the symbolism, or get me started on the symbolism in the Wells case. I mean, it's insane. It's ridiculous. Hey, Nuckin, I was just about to say, I hope Nuckin's here because speaking of Melissa Jade's chat when she was talking about Leticia Stout, hey, Spacebound. Hey, Michelle. I don't remember if I said hi to you. If I didn't, I apologize. But thank you for being here. Nuckin was in Melissa Jade's chat, and I remember saying that to Nuckin, how much you want to bet? I don't know if I said this like exactly those words, but I'm like, I would not be surprised if the next true crime, high profile true crime case, and I don't know if this one that I'm about to mention is high profile yet, but it could be. But I said to Nuckin, I would not be surprised if the next one that gets all this mainstream media attention is in Utah. Why? Because you have Summer Utah Wells. There's also a possibility that another one could be in Boston, because how many times did Candace mention, hey Sean, thanks for being here. How many times did Candace mention to Mary that the police department were going to take Dawn to Boston? She kept saying Boston. They're taking him to Boston. They're extraditing him to Boston. With the Watts case, it's difficult. It was difficult because with Shanann's traveling and Chris's traveling, there were so many places that there's, like San Diego, New Orleans. So you're not going to be able to necessarily predict them all the time, but you can look out for those things. Especially knowing how these people operate. Hey, Running Fox, good to see you. So anyways, yeah, so I was telling you I wouldn't be surprised Nuckin can back me up on this, because I said if the next one happens in Utah, you know where you heard it from first. And that was literally just like last weekend. So there's a video that Amanda S. Vita put out today, or posted today. I don't know why I say put out, that sounds terrible. And if you're not subscribed to Amanda, please, I'll get her link here real quick for you. Please check out her channel. She's doing a great job covering these true crime cases. True crime, quote unquote. Oh, and not to mention that wells are highly occultic as well. Okay, I'll get her link in a second, but I just want to show you this. I hope she's okay with me playing this video, but I want to show you guys this.
Contact with her at the end of August. Fox 15's Evan Axelbank joins us now live in Northport, where police are helping with this case. What can you tell us, Evan?
Well, police found the van that they were traveling here at the home that is owned potentially by the boyfriend's parents. They're now processing that. They've towed it away and are looking through it for any evidence they can find.
Fox 13, weird. Okay, moving on.
Family in New York say that Gabrielle Potetto was on a cross-country trip leaving Long Island on July 2nd. They were headed to Oregon, but stopping numerous places along the way, documenting their journey in their van on YouTube. Family last spoke with her August 24th or 25th and last texted with her August 30th. She was reported missing this weekend, September 11th, and they may have reached as far as Grand Teton National Park. Her boyfriend is not missing, but police are not saying how he may or may not be involved in where she is right now. Police found the van at this home this weekend.
You know, that's our main goal right now, is just trying to find some answers. You know, again, we're hopeful that she's out there somewhere. You know, people sometimes just don't want to communicate. So that's certainly still, you know, a viable option.
Okay, wait, I thought they mentioned the other state in here, but I could be wrong. I'll admit it if I was, but let's see. I have no problem admitting it, but from what I read, it happened in Utah. But now they're saying New York, so again, I could be wrong, but let me double check. Hey, Summer. Or maybe one of you guys in chat can tell me, but I saw that something about Utah. When did this happen? Oh, September 11th. They were traveling, so they were all over, but they said she was last in Utah. Okay, thank you, Sugar Aunt. I knew I saw Utah somewhere. So, if there ends up being a body, which hopefully not, right? Okay, thank you, Jen. So I was correct. All right. So let's say we'll give it time, and come to find out her body is found in Utah. What are the odds that the case that was mainstream right before this case, and again, this case isn't mainstream yet. I've barely been able to find any information about it, but it's still new. And other cases, like other orchestrated events, like let's, for example, the Sharkey case, that just happened to not get as much attention from the public or the true crime community, say the Watts case or the Summer Wells case. So some are gonna get more attention than others, just depending on how they're orchestrated or how well put together they are. So, hey Tamara. So again, what are the odds that this next missing persons case is in Utah? So you have Vegas, Colorado, El Paso, Utah, and then Utah because of Summer's name. And I know this isn't like damning evidence, right? It's not like like written in, as, or can be considered, I guess, factual. But again, the truth is in the patterns, especially with these orchestrated events. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys, is they do the same thing over and over and over again with these cases. And if I promise you, if you, I would be highly surprised. I don't want to say I promise you, but I would be, if you stick around and hear me out long enough, and you're able to see, you have that, like, that eye-opening. Everybody just needs that one thing to really open their eyes. Like, again, I've said this before, but mine was 9/11. It really opened my eyes. There were so many inconsistencies, and I started to do the research, and that's the thing. People have to do the research. I can only give you guys the information, and what you do with that information is on you. And I'm also limited to what I can talk about still, even though I've been more transparent, and what I can play on this platform. A few years ago, when I went down the rabbit hole of these cases, these platforms weren't censored, nearly as much as they are now. So it was easier to find this content. And a lot of the content has been scrubbed from the internet. So you have to really dig. You have to go, not to Google, you have to go to these other websites like Internet Archive, that still have these videos, like on Mandy Book shooting and these other shootings and orchestrated events. I can only do so much. I'm just looking at the chat. Oh, and I also remember seeing that Leticia Stout interview that she did with, I don't even know what news outlet it is or station, but her back's to the camera. She's not even skipping a beat when she's talking, when she's giving this interview. But why is her back to the camera? Why is she even giving an interview to mainstream media? To clear her name? Again, what's with all of these people trying to clear their names? And with the true crime community, they're going to say, well, because they're guilty. It's a clear sign of guilt. No, it's just a distraction. Like, the stuff doesn't happen like this in real life. It really doesn't. Hey, just the facts. In my opinion, no, the Watts case is not real. It's orchestrated. And I do hope, exactly, just the facts, I'm hoping that their symbolism will be their downfall, because they're not hiding it at all. They are literally putting it in plain sight. Like, and I highly recommend you watch RV Truth's channel. Let me get Melissa, I'll put Melissa's link in the chat as well. She's great. Hey, Amanda. I hope you don't mind I played some of your video. But you're the only one that I could find who had it as well. So let me get Amanda's link. Maybe. Do I not know how to do this on desktop? I should be able to. Oh, I'll just copy the link. Okay, here's Amanda's link. Please check out her channel. As I said, she's doing a great job covering these true crime cases. I'm always trying to support
other channel creators, big or small, it doesn't matter. We need to all support each other, and especially when they're channels that are saying that all they care about is the truth and they just want to, get justice for these victims. But when I'm seeing censorship left and right, that's bothersome. So I'm always trying to support other channel creators. Oh, definitely, Becky. There's definitely plants that are there to, or controlled opposition, that are there to put out a little bit of truth with a whole lot of disinformation to, one, to confuse people, two, to distract and deter people from or steer people in the opposite direction of what's actually, or from the truth. Okay, there's Melissa's channel, and then let me grab RV Truth's channel here. Because RV Truth, I highly I highly recommend watching RV Truth, because he talks about and points out a lot of this symbolism that they use over and over and over again. And that's one of the main things to look out for, if anything. Again, I know it's not hard, cold facts, but when you keep seeing it over and over and over again in these mainstream tragic events, that's when you really need to take a step back and look at things from a different. I know, Mecca Rent. Thanks, Nuckin. It's probably because of your name. I always get all tongue twisted. Okay, it's your fault. I blame you. I would blame Swamp Lover, but he's not here. Even though I blame Swamp Lover even when he's not here sometimes. But in this case, I'm gonna blame you. So thank you. But RV Truth does point out and talk about a lot of the same things that I do as far as these orchestrated events go. The symbolism hidden in plain sight. Okay, there's RV Truth's link. Oh, and Michelle, drop your link as well, please. If you're not subscribed to Michelle, check out her channel. She does a lot of great live streams, going over a lot of this government corruption and other things. So again, I'm not very good with this promoting stuff of other channels, like Tech Tie and Sourdy, two of my friends. They're much better at promoting others' channels. I usually just use the Tidy Labs or the Streamlabs bot to do it for me, but I'm trying. And Kelsey, if you want to drop your YouTube channel as well, Kelsey does. He doesn't do crew. Oh my gosh, take two. He doesn't do true crime, but he's got a fancy P1000, Nikon P1000, and he's taking really excellent footage of the planets and stars and the moon. So if you're into that kind of stuff or interested in it, then please check out his channel. So does anybody, I'm sure one of you guys know, because you guys know way more about these cases than I do, but with the Leticia Stout case, as far as I know, all there is the affidavit, which is 30 pages. Was there a discovery that was released? It doesn't go into a whole lot of detail. It's more of a summary of the case. But I was interested because I read a part where it was talking about them
recovering her her internet history, right? And what are the odds again that there's only a couple internet searches and it just so happens to exactly fit the narrative, just like the Las Vegas shooting, just like the Watts. They cherry pick what they want to show us. So again, it's like, what are the odds? And how many times do you have to keep, or do things have to keep happening for them not to be coincidental anymore? But my question is, does anyone know if there's anywhere where it's stated what type of mobile forensics they actually did on Leticia Stout's phone? Or again, if there's like another more detailed case file or discovery, whatever they call them. Because in that affidavit, as far as I could see, I just kind of skimmed through it, but I didn't see, they didn't mention the actual mobile forensics company that they used to extract her data from. Oh yeah, they didn't even try to recover it, Becky. They didn't even so they're claiming that they didn't have the technology to perform physical extractions on iPhones, which is the only way, if you're a mobile forensics expert, any mobile forensics expert would know that you would have to, and that's what they said in the discovery, that you have to perform a physical extraction on an iPhone in order to get deleted text messages, not internet search history, because the internet search history doesn't go into the unallocated space of the phone. But with deleted text messages, they're still in there. They're just really deep inside your phone. So unless you are very familiar with mobile devices or savvy with that kind of stuff, the average person or the phone owner is not going to be able to locate or be able to recover those deleted messages on their own. But they even admitted in the discovery that they didn't have the technology to perform these physical extractions. Hey, Ara, but they made it. How many times did Kobach say to Kessinger, we really need those text messages. They're super important. We have a quadruple homicide here. But they didn't even bother to, ask another department to get that technology, borrow it, ask one of their trained mobile forensics. We're talking about a high profile, like he said, quadruple homicide case here. So why not go, a little bit further, take an extra step if they're so important to get this mistress's text messages, knowing that that's what they have to do. That's if all other, less invasive ways fail, like third-party apps, the cloud, actually asking Kessinger to, or making her recover her Google text message instead of laughing it off and saying, oh, ha, 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 we'll just try something else. Well, thanks, Matt Saylor, you dildo. Okay? That's why it's so ridiculous. It's like they don't have to provide all this information to convince the majority of people that these cases actually happened. Yeah, like 1980 pages does seem like a lot, but it's really not for a quadruple homicide case. So they're cherry picking, the information that they give us. But back to Kessinger with the deleted text messages, they didn't bother to borrow the device, to ask again, like another, have their expert do the extraction. They didn't bother to spend, a couple grand on purchasing the device from the company, or you could even get it from third-party websites. Not only that, but I found receipts that I posted in a video that I made showing that Colorado's police departments, Weld County specifically, spends money yearly thousands of dollars on mobile forensics. So the fact that they're trying to say in that discovery that they didn't have the technology to perform physical extractions on iPhones is bullshit. Yeah, totally, Running Fox. It is. It's to just totally to distract. They know that the majority of people in the true crime community are going to delve into that discovery. That's why it was released. That's why Shanann's Facebook was made public and left public. It's still public. And they know, because I've heard many people say that they didn't think that Weld County, that people were going to look into this case as much. Oh, they knew. That's how these psyops work. They released that discovery on purpose, knowing, like Running Fox said, that people were going to, go through that discovery with a fine-tooth comb. And not only that, but know that they were going to start to find all these inconsistencies with the discovery and start racking their brains, trying to figure out why there's so many holes and why stuff doesn't add up and why there's so many unanswered questions that they're never going to answer for us. And the thing too, with the mobile forensics, like I said, you don't even need Kessinger handed over her phone with it not, password protected. She gave them the password to her phone. Now, if it was password protected, or she refused, or if it was like a phone that they found in a case that was like thrown into a lake or something, and it did have a passcode on it, that would be very difficult to recover those deleted text messages. Now, not impossible, because over time, these mobile forensic software is getting more and more advanced, but it's definitely not as easy to get into those phones when they are passcode protected. But since Kessinger did give her password, she didn't wipe the data from her phone like some people believe, or do like some sort of like bleach bit or whatever it's called, pull like a Hillary Clinton, right? She didn't do all that. She only deleted the content between her and Chris. So law enforcement had everything going for them. So there's no reason why they couldn't recover text messages. It's just a bullshit excuse so they don't have to provide that evidence. Because if they did, then people in the true crime community wouldn't be trying to figure out if Nicole Kessinger is guilty or not. We would have more answers based off of her text messages. And, and what are the odds that she just so happened can, they show us that internet search, can cops trace text messages? Can they recover text messages? How convenient, right? Or the only ones that were recovered were the ones when she switched her phone, and they were just screenshots, right? They don't even provide us the actual, like, Celebrite or XRY software dumps. All of that information, the discovery, where it shows, like, Shanann text messaging Chris or whoever, or NA, doesn't matter. They're all cherry-picked, and someone, a police officer or whoever does the discoveries, or is responsible for those, or takes care of those, they wrote those manually into the discovery. So it's very possible that there could be errors, but it's also cherry-picked. It's not straight from the actual data dump, and that's bothersome. That's going to be the word of the day, bothersome. Hardly ever use that word. It's weird. Anyway. Shanann looks a lot like her brother to me, not sure same person. What's funny is I kind of thought that Nicole Kessinger and Chris kind of look like brother and sister. I was like, ooh, that'd be weird. But I just get this feeling of the sand dune photos too. It's like they're so staged. It's like, oh, kiss on the cheek, and hugs, and it's just not only that, but they were released with they were downgraded. The quality of them was downgraded, and then months later we get perfectly clear photos. It's like, who and why were those pictures downgraded so badly? Why didn't we get those crisp, clear pictures from the very beginning when the discovery was released? I don't know, Running Fox. It's weird. What's even more weird is if you, and I literally did this, don't judge me, but I took my app that I use a lot for editing photos and stuff. I cut out Nicole Kessinger's hair and I put it on top of Nick Thayer. It's scary. They literally look just like one another. I mean, literally cut out Nicole Kessinger's hair and put it on Nick Thayer's bald head. And I was like, spitting image. It's so weird. I've never heard of that phrase, Nuckin. What's rabble rouser? I'll have to find it. I don't know if I still have it. I think I deleted it, but it was weird. Please hit the like button so we can get off 33. Michelle. Yes, very occultic. We wouldn't want that. So anyways, I know this was kind of a mess. It was, impromptu, last minute. But I just like to do these live streams when I notice certain things and talk about them while they're fresh in my mind. Yeah, mode of operation, exactly. Summer. And a lot of times with these orchestrated events, your main characters will have some sort of military backgrounds, military psyops, go figure, or some sort of connection to the FBI or CIA, whether it be a family member or whatever. So the fact that the NK was using those types of terms, army terms, is not surprising. And of course you have Fort Knox right next, or in North Carolina, and all those psychological military bases, operation military bases, whatever they're called, in Colorado. It's like a hot spot. You always thought NK looked like a MTF. You're going to have to fill me in on what an MTF is. I'm sure I'm going to kick myself once you tell me. You should probably know it, but... Many of the operatives are military and intelligence agents, including social media channel creators. They're co-intelpros, military and CIA actual agents. Yep. Oh, male to female transgender. Thank you, Running. Okay, I did not know that one. You would like Roadhouse. Abnorm. I thought Rambo is your favorite movie. I guess you didn't say favorite. You just said you liked Roadhouse. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end this so I'm not just rambling about things. But thank you, everyone, for being here. I will try to do more of these. I don't want to come on here and just repeat myself all the time, but for the most part, it is necessary, and I need to keep repeating myself, and I will keep repeating myself about this stuff until it sticks. So, again, I will try to do these more, and I will try to be a little bit more prepared. But I hadn't streamed in a while, so I just wanted to catch up with you guys. So thanks everyone for being here again, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye. Bye guys.